Ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad to be back. We made it before anything too crazy happened. You join us on lap 2 of round 4 of the Porsche Cup Series here at RCI. I am so glad that we are back. We managed to finish all the technical gremlins, and not just that, we have Callum Kerwin in the box. He managed to reinstall Windows in the time it took for us to fix everything. Callum, welcome in. This is probably about the most furious start we're ever going to get to the stream. How are you doing, mate?
One casual Windows reinstall later, and we are back. I'm good, man. I'm tired, but I'm ready. I'm ready for my first bit of Porsches this year. Obviously, we said we were going to race these. However, my sim rig is still sat in a pile in the corner, and you haven't taken up the offer yet. So
No, absolutely
we're
not.
back.
I'm
We're in the
terrified
booth
of this
though
guy.
instead. Yeah, I'd be
Oi!
terrified of these
There's
guys.
a tap on the wall.
At the moment, with a little tap on the wall, like you said, out of the final corner, we got a little move shaping up in T1. It's obviously quite difficult here to go round the outside because you just sort of get run out wide by the car that's on your inside, and then you're in that horrible position of the never-ending sort of run up the hill. But it can be rewarding. Maybe we'll see some side-by-side battles through here if someone decides to get really, really brave. But I doubt it at the moment. But yeah, Martin Lawrence started on pole and has successfully defended it so far from, I think, we're going to say the best livery in the entire grid. I mean, I've seen about 8
Oh,
of
easily.
them, but
Easily. No,
we'll
no, no.
say the
You're
best
absolutely
livery,
right.
right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And Callum, in case you don't know the story, so that's the car of Matt Whitburn. That's the 620 car that's absolutely hustling Martin Lawrence at the moment. He actually overtook Jordan Daly, who started just ahead of him on lap 1. And so Matt Whitburn, his kids chose the team name and sort of the team design. So it's the Rainbow Sparkles Racing Team, which is just I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. It makes everybody happy. It warms the heart. But speaking of warm, as a reminder, it's warm on the circuit. Tires are warm. Engines are warm. Drivers are driving furiously. But yeah, just to update on what you missed in qualifying, I do hate to say it was a heck of a session. I believe the top 4 was separated by less than a tenth of a second. The top like 12, 13 cars were all separated by less than a second. It was extremely good. It was Martin Lawrence on the pole. It was Jordan Daly on the first row and second position, Matt Whitburn third, and Raphael Huell was, I believe, fourth, or maybe John Dalton was fourth. I'm not sure, but the order as it stands now, it's Lawrence, Whitburn, Daly, Huell, Dalton, Kumpu, Stubna, Boardman, Keller, and Zotoage in the top 10. And things are getting a little shifty, a little spicy already in this race, and thank goodness for that. I was briefly a bit blind, but that's okay. I will work to recover. It's still Lawrence out front, and I feel like the move is inevitable coming from Matt Whitburn in the background. But Callum, is it just me? Are you seeing things currently? Are you seeing
I'm not
pictures?
seeing anything. I haven't switched over to the live YouTube.
Oh,
Obviously, that is a
no
bit delayed. So.
worries. All right. Well, the technical gremlins. There's still some gremlins in the machine. Ash
They're
Baby is
lurking.
working his absolute best and is been an absolute champ
It might have been
today.
my fault because I asked for the race standings on the side, and I feel like it might have just blown everything up.
Might have done, but I do have the I do have a. I'll talk you through the audio. I'm currently in the session as a spectator, and I am capable of flipping through some of the pictures, but unfortunately, I can't really show them to you, my dear viewers. But right now, I'm focused on the battle at the front, which is Lawrence and Whitburn. 3/10 separate these drivers so far. I don't think that gap has really grown or changed since lap 1. And Martin Lawrence is, I'm sure, pushing like crazy to keep Whitburn off the back. This is our championship battle after all. It was Whitburn in round 1 in Imola who absolutely drove an impeccable race. And Martin Lawrence didn't drive as good of a race. I think he finished P8, and we learned later on that it was because he was using a wheel with no force feedback and some really wonky pedals. And as we came back to it, he, in the second round in the Hungaroring, in the dark, with his functional setup good. He's been driving impeccably. He's won it in Hungaroring. He won last week at Paul Ricard in the wet. Whereas now he's currently still leading. I promise, still leading the front of this race. And I think we're still there. We go.
We're nearly back.
We're nearly back.
We're nearly back. We
But
do have a standings on the side, so you can now see who is where and who is who.
Yes.
That's been fixed. However, we're just fixing another technical gremlin, and then
we will indeed
be allowed to see again.
Yes.
So the YouTube is focusing on Nico Kumpu at the minute. I can tell you.
Yes, and Kumpu is one of our great drivers, one of our super quick guys, reigning Monday champion in ACC. He won last time around in the Audi Academy, which if you're looking for something to go watch. What was a really good round? The Zandvoort round. I think it was round 2. The GT4s was fantastic. That was a really good one. The GT2s in the wet as well at the Red Bull Ring. Another good one if you're looking for something to watch. But right now,
all the rounds I didn't commentate on.
Well, I didn't commentate at Red Bull either. Mr. Bibby, we are good to go. Thank you, King. We are rolling. We are beautiful. We are here. We are following with Nico Kumpu as Raphael Huell actually got bipped at some point by John Dalton, and this was a fight last time out at Paul Ricard between these two drivers. Dalton was racing for P2, and at the very end got hustled a bit by Raphael Huell. It was a absolutely spectacular race at Paul Ricard. One of the greats for sure, and I'm hoping for a stormer of another race here, Callum. And of course it's going to be good because you're here with us, and it's always a pleasure when Mr. Kerwin is in practice.
I mean, at the minute I seem more like a bad luck charm than a pleasure. However, it's been a while since we've done a stream together. I think it's been a good few weeks. I know you've been busy with bits and pieces and trips, and I've been busy with various different things. I've been to different countries. Kevin Boss gave me the plague while I was in Amsterdam. That was I think you missed that.
Well, you joined us for a moment.
Yes, you were there, and I was completely dead. But no, I am better. I've been toiling away on racing cars all day as usual, and then coming back to this. So a bit different. I did have a friend who worked in the Porsches in the Carrera GB Championship, which is one of the big Porsche championships. Ashes, I think, just finished furiously sweating, trying to sort everything out, and is now going to take a well-deserved couple of minutes breather. But yeah, he's a big thanks to all of the comms and all of the broadcast people who do what they do. As you can tell, sometimes it doesn't quite go to plan. However, we do try and solve any issues if we can as we're coming across them. But I said it would be quite difficult to make a move around the outside, and now is this? I heard you saying about names to me. Is this the name that we were on about?
No, sir. This one's an easy one. It's actually the car, the number 73 car. That's the one that was the tricky one. And
I did see that one in the sign-ups and thought that it would be quite difficult. But,
we're professionals. It's fine.
I'd say that's Patek.
Yeah, I'd say Andrzej Batek is how it is.
Andrzej Batek. Yeah. Kevin Boss is currently crying in Middle East.
Oh, but he's going for it though. Speaking of Batek,
round the outside.
Oh yeah, a little bit of a switchback there at the exit of the bus stop. What corner is referred to as the loop, and believe it or not, this part of the circuit is referred to as the boot. I just now learned that today, and I think it's deeply appropriate.
You have the loop, and then you go down the chute into the boot.
Yes, and that hairpin going back up the hill is the toe.
I think I'd be dying inside as I said that.
Professionals who listen, every time it's my first time on a circuit, I always spend a good 10 minutes just being enamored by corner names and corner numbers. Next time we're at Road Atlanta, I will give my whole entire spiel about why I think Road Atlanta has the wrong number of corners, because they give corner numbers to not corners. They do 10A, 10B. That's just crazy. But we're not at Road
I can't do
Atlanta.
10A, 10B. That's not right.
That's what I'm saying. All right, here's your moments. Callum Kerrigan. Kerrigan. I'm sorry, I just called you the other Callum. That's a
Wow.
bingo square. Callum Kerwin. Who are we on board with right now, chasing down Bateg?
Give me a moment. Zotawaj? Zotawaj?
You know what? I give him a pass. I give him a pass for that.
Zotawaj?
That is how Kevin told me earlier. But I've been saying Zotawaj the past couple of weeks, but it's Zutue.
The number 73 car, I think, is how I'll be professionally referring to that car.
Absolutely.
For the next 46 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes. I wish you could have heard Ash Bibby, everybody. That was a brilliant pronunciation.
You've got two Americans and a Brit.
Two Americans.
Oh no, we've not got Cormac. I'm confused. I've been confused.
There's two Brits and an American.
Two Brits.
Ash
and
Bibby,
American.
Congratulations. You are now American. Welcome, sir. I know you can't see me, but I'm saluting you. Welcome. Oh my lord.
Ash Bibby wants to go to bed.
He does. He wants us to reel it in. We're a bit off the rails.
We are off the rails. However, so far, Lawrence still out front. Whitburn is a tenth behind.
Oh, he might be thinking about it into turn one.
He's going down the inside. Keeps it cleanish. I think there might have been a little bit of a touch there between Lawrence and Whitburn, but Lawrence now going to try and hold it around the outside on the run up of the hill. Keep the nose there, and it gives you the inside for the little left-hand king. And now they've got to run side by side in to down the back straight and into the sort of bus stop chicane, as we've got Lawrence here is disadvantaged because he's on the outside, but if he can hold it around the outside, he tries to give a bit of a squeeze to Whitburn, but Whitburn manages to take the line and slide on through. It was an opportunistic move, but I think just the slipstream down the back end of the main straight just helped Whitburn out there. He did run a little bit wide on the exit of the outer loop and down through the chute, but he's managed to hold off Lawrence so far, but I don't think Lawrence is going to be hanging around behind him very long. He's going to be trying to push back to get past him. Those guys do have about a 3.5 second gap on Jordan Daly, who is being currently hounded by John Dalton and Raphael Huell. Nico Kumpu's about a second behind them, and then we've got Boardman, who I believe has just been overtaken in that last sector by Stubner? Miso Stubner.
It may have been the 666 car.
Yeah, he just jumped down. Boardman was running in 7th, however, he's just been overtaken, I think, by the 666 car. I think Boardman maybe not having as much fun in the Porsches as some of the other cars. He's absolutely dominated Mondays in for a few seasons, and I think he might be struggling a little bit more around here than he normally does, but still part of the lead group. It just shows you how quick some of these other guys are, especially in the Porsches. I know Dalton does quite like the Porsche.
He's been one of the drivers who's done really well this season, for absolute sure. Been fighting for podiums pretty much throughout the season. I think he's currently 4th in the standings. I think we briefly blitzed through the standings while the stream was a bit of a slideshow. But yeah, I think Dalton close behind Huell, maybe a point behind him between 4th and 3rd. I think he's definitely wanting to finish the season at least on the podium. We're now on board with Jordan Daly, which if this was Formula One, you could refer to this as almost like a DRS train. But no, this is make racing, and this is just sort of
DRS is dead.
You're right.
DRS is
dead officially. All right, we're going to call it the manual override train.
You could prefer it to the mum train.
I'm just going to call it what it is, which is classic. A bit wide from Raphael Huell. Nico Kumpu picks up the pieces there. Coming out of the toe, they're now heading down towards the straight to the heel. Fortunately, though, Kumpu does have the inside and has the overlap, so I think for the moment it is moved on by Nico Kumpu. Very opportunistic It's worth mentioning again just how hot this circuit is. And with these cup cars, you are hammering these tires all the way through. I can pretty much guarantee that tires will be changed during the pit stop. There is a mandatory pit stop, 25 seconds of minimum refueling time. You can take fuel. You can elect to take tires. If you do take those tires, it will be an extra 5 seconds to your stop, your stationary stop. But these tires are getting hammered, and I'm sure, you know, Rafael Huel, maybe his rear's got a bit too high of temperature on the exit. Maybe he got on the throttle too early. These cup cars are absolute beasts of machines.
You might
And
be able to tell me, Jack.
well,
I've
John's
got
not
Dalton
wrong.
on my brain, and it's just
My legal
I
name
can't
is
get it out.
John. I will say.
I mean, I'm telepathic at this point. I mean, we do see John Dalton chasing down Jordan Daly, but I believe these cars have no ABS because I think they're based on the 2025 version of the Cup car, which doesn't have ABS in the UK at least. I don't know if it's
They
different
do
in
have
America.
ABS.
Okay, so maybe they updated it because the new 2026 OGB Cup car does now have ABS. I think it's not like a big thing. It's just some sensors that they reinstall.
I'm not sure.
He's taking the mick out of all of us, but
Yeah, we don't know
I
each
know
other's
a
names.
lot of people have added in ABS to their 2025 cars to make them 2026, but it makes a big difference on how you drive these cars. With no ABS, they're quite scary, and it completely changes the way you brake and your brake shaping. So it's a big adjustment for the real life drivers to go through this season. It's sort of the new big thing in Porsche Carrera Cup in real life is that these cars now have ABS as these do, which will make it a bit easier to manage the tyres because you're not going to have to worry as much about locking, which obviously would give you a flat spot and then an nasty vibration and might mean that you'd have to change tyres or cause premature wear.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. No, I don't blame you for being unsure whether these cars have ABS. There's some Porsche Cup cars all around the world. They do have ABS. They also have TC. Some don't have TC. Some don't have ABS. It kind of just depends on where you are. But yeah, these 992 ACC varianted Porsche Cup cars is
Daly's taking
Daly.
the NASCAR line through turn.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. And honestly, he might actually not have gotten a track cut for that. However, he did definitely hamper his exit. We'll see coming down the straight. Does he maybe think about going defensive on John Dalton? I don't think so. I don't think Dalton quite had the run on him. But yeah, the ACC variants of these cars are ABS and no TC. And also worth mentioning, next year the 992.2 Cup cars will start to be spread about the 100 million racing series around the world that run these cars. And I think the argument for putting ABS in these cars makes a lot of sense. I heard whether I was watching a broadcast or it was an interview or whatever, it was sort of because a lot of drivers, you know, they get into Cup cars in order to maybe step up to GT3s. And if you come out of a Cup car with no ABS and get into, let's say, the most equivalent thing, a Porsche 911 GT3 car, you basically have to relearn how to drive because you have to relearn how to brake. And braking is a lot of finding pace in a race car. You know, and I think it makes sense to add ABS. I think, I don't know. I'd just be happy if I could drive a 911 Cup car. Let's be honest here.
I have a friend who did recently at Silverstone.
Can I borrow the keys?
The rookie test. Race cars don't have keys, Jack.
No. I knew that. It's like you jiggle the fuel pump knob or something, and then it turns on. I don't know. No, I'm aware that race cars don't have keys. There's a whole starting procedure. But now we've backed now up to the mid pack here. We're on board with Richard and Gearman. But yeah, what I was saying earlier is, actually, there's a yellow flag. The 717 that just stopped on the circuit. That's Philip Arena, I believe. They've started going again.
21's in the pits. Rafael Huel has taken his pit stop. The pit window's
I have. The number 2 car, I believe, has stopped. The number 23 car has stopped. That's Andres Batic. Yeah, he was stopped briefly on the exit of turn 1. The 23 maybe spun a bit. We're going to get a race replay here. Ooh, yep, that's Andres. That's an interesting...
Reversing to the wall, I think, trying to turn it round.
Yep, I think
It's a
he
hard
maybe
place to
got
be because
loose.
you're sort of unsighted, and then you can't see who's coming very easily, and they can't see you because of the nature of that corner. And you're flat through there once you come through turn 1 on the exit, so you can't risk sort of stopping in the middle of the track.
Oh,
That's overheated tyres that are
oh,
struggling. Oh, he's been put round the
oh,
flat.
oh!
Well done.
That was
Well,
very
well
well
done. I think that
reacted.
was Pinlot, Elaranta, maybe Roscam as well, Richard Meerman. No, it was the Elaranta, Pimlot, and Richard Meerman. Very well done by all of those three for managing to avoid and not cause any further problems. That's the classic problem when you spin in a car. You overheat the tyres massively, and then the rear end has no grip. And if you have no grip on the rear end in a Porsche, because the engine hangs out the back, because it's like a Beetle, um, they just loop round.
There's some pain in that, like a beetle.
Porsches aren't my favourite. I'm gonna
Porsches.
say it.
I was thinking maybe we're getting close. Pimlot's thinking he's got maybe a bit more pace than Elaranta. I will say the front of that Porsche of Elaranta, the flaming tires, which is another one of the great liveries we have. It's just a car on fire. Looks like it's seen some action on the front end. Maybe something we missed early on. Oh, never mind. Pimlot's not thinking about a move. He's thinking about a pit stop. We are reaching near to the half distance of this race. It is a 1 hour sprint for these drivers, and he's decided now is the time to pit. Probably go in, maybe take a bit of fuel, most certainly take a bit of tires, and get on his way. The undercut, as it would be. Yes, Ash, a bit of tires. I don't know, some tires for sure. We got asked by Jordan Daly before the race he need how much fuel, and I told him some. I wasn't wrong. It wasn't helpful, but I wasn't wrong.
Quite
But no,
concerning that the driver in third place is asking the commentary team how much fuel he should take.
well, clearly the answer that I gave him is doing him well because he's managed to fend off John Dalton for 20 years makes no difference, 25 minutes. He did lose that position early on into the race to Matthew Whitburn, who, believe it or not, has been in first place for I don't know how long. At some point, he overtook Martin Lawrence, and we just didn't notice. I was going to say, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset about being overtaken by Matthew Whitburn because he is absolutely flying today. And that
We
car
did
ahead
notice
was
he went
68.
down the inside of turn 1. It was a whole
Did.
thing.
It was a
Yeah,
whole
we
thing.
noticed it very well. Laurent has stayed very close behind. He's sort of dropped a couple of tenths, but the traffic is hurting him here.
Oh,
That was
I
close
think.
with the traffic.
Yep. I think that's. I'm not actually sure what. Let's see. Can I see the car number?
Is that Les?
68. Is that Les? Is that 46?
Is it
No, that is not Les. Yeah, that's not Les. That's not the Roker Poker livery. Don't worry. Once you see it, you
Bear
can't
with us as
unsee
we
it.
try and decide who this is. Oh, has Les got a good livery on again?
He does.
88.
That is the 88 car, which is that's Lily Armstrong. That is the fastest hands in the West. Believe it or not, clearly not having the best race in the world. Has done the pit stop already, so being down in the lower bit of the field, 18 is pretty much expected. And as you can see, if you look on the left side of your screen, that wheel's doing some wacky things, and that's because Lily Armstrong is a gamepad racer. And easily the best I've ever seen. Can race up there with some of the greats and has had some great performances so far this season. And that just proves one of my favorite things about sim racing is that ultimately anybody can do it. You don't need a big fancy sim rig. You just need a gamepad. As you can see, the inputs they're psychotic looking when you go on board like that. And it's something we do basically every race, and it's one of my favorites.
Do we know what gamepad Lily Armstrong actually uses? Because is it one of them like scuff controllers that has like the variable triggers, or is it like just a normal PlayStation 5 controller?
You know, that's a
good
good
shout.
shout.
If it's a normal, I mean, the PlayStation 5 controller has variable triggers, but you're limited on buttons in that.
Yeah.
So if it's a normal PlayStation controller, that's insane. I mean, it's insane anyways.
I think no, I'll definitely need to ask. Maybe
Yeah, so
Lily.
we need to find out.
Lily, also known as Grim, will end up in the box at the end of this race. And if they don't deafen too quickly, I'll put them on the spot and figure out what the controller is. But very quick driver, and is basically capable of racing in all disciplines that I've seen for the most part. including LMU. Did 24 hours on Le Mans the other week, which is just absurd to me. That's a controller driver is not only competitive, but way faster than me. It's not even funny. And speaking of people who are faster than me, John Dalton still chasing down Jordan Daly for that all-important podium position.
I genuinely thought you were going to say, speaking of people who aren't funny, and then cut to John Dalton.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I would never. Oh, it's a mistake from Jordan Daly, similar to what we saw with Raphael Huell, actually, but maybe not quite the same. Dalton didn't get the exit, didn't get the overlap. I think maybe he decided to lift and cut back in behind.
Well, he's got a bit of a better run here, though, so he's going to. Yeah, he cuts across on the nose. Jordan Daly saw that coming in. John was thinking of getting a better run out of the corner and then trying to break down the outside as John slides it through. Funny and fast, John Dalton. Should we say that? Funny and fast.
And a good commentator as well.
Very, very good commentator.
Well, I think Daly might be going down the pit lane. He is. I think his tires have had enough. After that slide, he said, "Get these boots off of me. Get some fresh ones on." That's Dalton.
Nico Kumpu's in the pits as well.
Into pit lane. You are absolutely right. Well spotted. That's Kumpu in. So we're reaching the point where we're just about at half of the field has entered pit lane. Still, though, most of our top drivers, most of our leaders have not, with the exception of Daly and Kumpu.
I think
Zutue has also entered pit lane. That was a butchering and a half. Breaking news. We have heard that Grimm and/or Lily Armstrong, I say and/or like they're two separate people, same people, we often refer to them as Grimm rather than as Lily, uses some form of Razor Wolverine something Pro controller. V3 Pro. Thank you, Ash Bibby. We got the inside scoop. And I can imagine, based on the name, that is quite a fancy controller, and I imagine has every single button and accoutrement that could help Lily be as fast as they are. And Lily might be looking around the outside, maybe is doing around the outside of El Aranta there. Can make it stick, does do. It's just a tidy move there for sure. Not the easiest place to get by. I mean, you really got to set that move up all the way through the heel. It's well done by Lily Armstrong. Speaking of controllers and fastest hands in the West, there's the best possible example for you of how fast those hands can be. All right, I'm going to break the silence. I've had enough. I couldn't handle it too much. We're still on board with Lily Armstrong here, and we've just passed the 30-minute mark, as you've seen. Yet again, more technical gremlins this time with Callum Kerwin. So we apologize for the brief, awkward silence. We'll see. Callum, how are we doing?
I am back. Sorry, Discord was just deciding to have a bit of a nightmare while I was Googling I was Googling the controller that Lily Armstrong was using, and Discord just apparently said no at the same time. But another point to note down as well is that Pimlott has jumped Alaranta in the pit stops. I believe that they were the other way around when they stopped. I believe Pimlott was behind.
Penalty on the field. Sebastian Brunier, one of the nearly
sending
on
it down
pace
the
drivers.
inside of.
That's Les Stevenson standing in on the inside of Sebastian Brunier there. And the stop and go 30, I would have to imagine it would be for speeding in the pit lane, because usually a drive-through is what's offered for a track limits penalty. Severely speeding in the pit lane, as Ash would remind me. But yes, it can be, if it's just a couple of kilometers over, you'll get a DT. If it's 10, 15 kilometers over, that's a stop and go 30. So kind of a tough one for a race as short as this, with only the single mandatory pit stop, to basically have to take a second pit stop and not even get the benefit of fresh tires either. But a tiny move by the Roker Poker, by Les Stevenson. And if your eyes are sharp, you can see there's an image on the top of that car, and it will give you nightmares. The Roarker Porker, because obviously we're driving Polks, we're driving Porsches today, and for the rest of this season. This is only round 4, mind you, with the finale coming up next week at uh, one of the great circuits of all time. We're going to Japan. Callum, you know where we're going next week? Are you excited?
I don't know where we're going. However, I know I'm here next week, so I will.
Well,
Yeah, we will be knocking on Jesse's front door, as Ash very, very cleverly says there. Jesse's back in Japan now, so we'll go and
he's
say
not.
hello.
He's still here.
Is he still here? I thought he
Yeah,
went back.
He's here for January.
Oh, okay. I think he must be spending Christmas at home with the Christmas and Thanksgiving at home with the family.
Yeah.
I learned last stream with Jesse what Thanksgiving was all about, because I had no idea. I just thought it was some weird celebration that you lot did, which it is really.
Well, it is. Yet again, Ash getting roped in with the Americans.
But I had no idea. Well, no, I was saying you lot, as in you and Jesse, not you and Ash. Okay. But you lot doing it was very informative. I learned all about what Thanksgiving's about. I cannot remember for the life of me what it is about, and I probably won't think about it ever again until I see it next year.
That's okay.
And inevitably end up doing a stream with you around Thanksgiving, and you can explain it. I just want to cut back to that controller. That controller only has 6 extra buttons on a normal controller.
Only
Otherwise,
6.
Effectively, it's a PlayStation 5 controller.
So only 6.
That's very impressive.
How many buttons? So we're talking like 15, 16 buttons total, not counting triggers.
I have no idea. I can't do mental maths that quickly.
Where's my? Hold on. I have a controller in front of me. I'll start counting.
Oh, sorry, it's an Xbox One. Ash made a very good point. His thumbsticks aren't next to each other.
Better controller shape, better stick shape. I will stand by that. The DualShock 4 is a fantastic controller. However, shape's not right. Sticks aren't right. Martin Lawrence is in pit lane, stopping just after Matt Whitburn. We'll see. He's going to be coming down the pit exit here. Whitburn should be clearing, sweeping through with time to spare. Let's see. They were basically exactly dead even on pit stop time, so I think it's just that undercut, that being on fresh tires that Whitburn was on for an extra lap or two was enough to put a proper gap between Lawrence, and we'll see what that gap was. It should update momentarily. It does. It isn't showing us the gap, but it's actually about 3.5 seconds, give or take, and we now see Jordan Daly, who actually, while not being ahead of John Dalton was able to pull out a gap as well. Now Kumpu is the next car to attempt to clear the Daly roadblock. I have the pleasure of knowing Jordan Daly and maybe not racing him, well, racing near him from time to time. And he is extremely quick and extremely hard to get past. So we'll see if Nico Kumpu has the right stuff to get through. While sharing that Daly had a 2-second longer pit stop. And yeah, so most pit stops are in the 1:06 region, 1:06 from pylon to pylon from entry to exit. Jordan Daly, 1:08, 0.2. So those extra 2 seconds, it might not have put him, ahead of John Dalton. It actually might have, quite honestly. But that's one of the things that ACC it makes it more unique is you have to hit your pit stop marks. You have to do everything right in the stop. It can be exceptionally difficult. If you miss your mark, you might have to back up. You might have to go forward more. You got to shut off your engine for them to start working on the car. There's a whole host of things that you have to do to get it right. Maybe Jordan Daly didn't do it quite right today, but still got a fight on his hands. Still got some racing left to do. 22 minutes remaining in this race, Callum. And it may have been off to a weird start. Weird because we sort of missed the first bit. But what we've seen so far, I think, has been pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a typical, I say this every time I commentate on a Monday single make, It's your typical single make where they've sort of broken themselves up into bunches. However, normally when we have that, it's, well, for the last few seasons, we've had Andy Baldwin just streaking away at the front, and then everyone else has been in bunches. But it's nice having that battle between Whitburn and Lorek as well. And then, you know, Huell, Dalton, Daly, they're only sort of one mistake, one half spin behind as well. So it really, you know, anything can happen in 22 minutes. It's really hard to stay focused as Lily Armstrong gets the run of their life coming up through the hill, but it's a really awkward place to get a run because you sort of can't really go either way. And if you take the line, as Ash Bibby squeals as much as I do, if you
It's
take
me
the natural
squealing,
line,
mate.
it was you squealing. I thought it was Ash. If you take the natural line through there, you're sort of just naturally blocking it anyway. As go defensive on the inside, Pimlot's just putting the car in all the right places at the moment, but Lily is trying their best to get past. Going to get a clean move down the inside here, but Pimlot has enough momentum hanging it round the outside. Next corner goes right, so as long as Pimlot gets a good exit, it's going to be Lily again on the outside. It's such a flowing nature. Lily
Oh, thought about the
tries to cut
switchback.
back, but Pimlot saw it coming and just sort of held the car on the inside and then let it drift out quite late. But that's going to give Lily a bit of a better run out of the corner because they overslowed on the way in, so they could put their foot down quicker on the way out, or finger down on the trigger quicker on the way out. But Pimlot, very, very good defensive driving here against someone who is absolutely rapid, input method or not. And Pimlot's just putting it in all the right places, but a bit of a mistake there from Lily, a bit of a twitch on the front end going into the corner. It just sort of unsettled the car and induced a slide. So Pimlot has a bit of a second to breathe, and so do we. But yeah, no, it's been some great racing. I think Porsche Carrera Cup always provides really good racing, whether it's in sim or in real life as well. I always enjoy watching the Carrera Cup races on around the F1 weekends. They always provide some great racing, some real sort of side-by-side stuff. As we say that, Lily's trying the exact same move again.
I feel like we've seen this somewhere before.
I think we have somewhere before, and still
Is it the same
struggling with
cutback?
just catching the toe at the wrong time. Moves to the outside again. We'll try and see if you can hold it down the outside into the way in, but no, tries to slot in behind, but Pimlot again pretty unfazed so far, and just using the ability of not worrying when the car's down the inside and just carrying the momentum like he has there. He's just sort of carried the momentum through the corner and knows that the next one's going to come to him. Although Lily is now trying to do the same thing back, but runs out a little bit wide, gets on the grass, holds
Mega
it
save!
mega save on the controller, holds it in,
Hold on.
and is now
Doesn't get the move done. Surely not.
Wow.
Surely not.
Fantastic move.
A little wiggle on the
wheels.
wheels.
A little wiggle on the
That
front
was-
end there.
Oh, that was mighty stuff by Lily
Cormac's
Armstrong.
impressed.
Oh,
Wow.
that was extremely good. Sorry, I didn't
That
mean to
reminds me
talk
of the
over
old,
you. I
the
couldn't.
old Ross Chastain of I'm not going to lift until I see goal or a checkered flag. And
Oh, yes.
hammering it over some grass instead of wall riding.
Oh, that might be possible move of the season there from Lily
That's a
Armstrong.
fantastic overtake.
And really good defensive work from Neil Pimlott, not to take away from that. And I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure this fight is over, but a step in the right direction from Lily Armstrong up to P12. And now to see the Rainbow Sparkles Racing, the Matt Whitburn car. It's sort of been a Martin Lawrence show for the last couple of rounds as far as, you know, a couple of wins on the cards. Martin Lawrence struggled. Actually got a drive-through late in the race at Paul Ricard last week out and finished down in 9th position and really brought the championship back to Martin Lawrence. Matt Whitburn got the drive-through. I don't know. It's two M's and I don't know. I'm mixing up names in my own head. But Matt Whitburn now going to put a couple more points. Well, I should say, as things stand, we'll put a couple more points towards the connection lost racing driver of Martin Lawrence. Obviously, we still have 17 and a half minutes. This thing is nowhere close to over, but Whitburn has had the pace today in the hot condition, in the American sun that is Watkins Glen. And I must admit this. I've sort of not sort of admitted to this multiple times, but I'm not the biggest fan of Watkins Glen. But and I'm not really sure why, because it always results in some really fantastic racing, and I think it is a fantastic circuit. And I think my mind needs to be changed about the Glen here.
I quite like the Glen. As American circuits go, I quite like the Glen. I prefer it to like a Sebring. I struggle with Sebring. I
Whoa,
prefer the
whoa,
Glen
whoa,
over a Sebring.
whoa!
That might be a
Can't say
controversial
that.
opinion,
Can't say that. No, I think a lot
saying
of
to
people
someone
agree with me.
from
Admittedly.
Florida, but
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
Ash is
Ash
in the same boat.
Bibby! He just said
I
Sebring makes
just,
him
I,
want to
I
throw up.
just can't stand Sunset. The fight, the bumpiness of that corner. Just
All
pave it
right.
over.
Sunset is a extremely difficult corner.
If you just paved it and had normal tarmac around the entire circuit, I'd probably be more okay with it.
Here's why they don't do that. If Sebring wasn't bumpy, I hate to say it, it would be a lot less interesting of a circuit.
You can still have the bumps, but you could just have
You
normal
just say
asphalt.
pave over Sunset. Well, I mean, if they pave it over, they pave it over. I don't know. The bump on the apex of Sunset is is an American institution, I believe. But no, I think that's not that controversial. I think Sebring is a very love-or-hate circuit. As Mikael Sundstrom just dropped in our comms chat, I will not stand for any Sebring slander. I agree, unless it's specifically Sunset, and I'll tolerate it a little bit. But also, if you're bad at Sunset, skill issue.
I'm not saying I'm bad at it. I mean, I'm bad everywhere.
I'm saying I'm bad at it, to be honest. And me
Yeah.
being angry at it is a skill issue for me.
So he's not very bad at Sunset.
Who's that?
Andy Ball. He's also not very bad around Watkins Glen as well, because he's currently holding off Stubner. He's been chasing him down for a couple of laps.
Yeah, I know. It's done well. And Miso Stubna is sort of a unknown, at least for me, as far as Monday champs, but has been doing really well in the Porsches. And Boardman's one of those drivers that's, we know he's fast. He's previous multi-time Monday champion, and is honestly, I think, sort of still maybe getting to grips with the Porsche. Has got a couple, has had a couple of unlucky moments in this car across the season, but Miso Stubna might be a driver to watch a bit, maybe an up and comer in our Mondays. Very, very quick driver, and anybody who can chase down and possibly think about putting a move on Andy Boardman is someone worth watching.
Yeah, Andy has proven himself over Mondays to be, and other series we run obviously here at RCI, to be absolutely rapid. Just a quick sort of highlight as I'm going over onto SimGrid, Jack, because we are now on SimGrid. We are fully on SimGrid. Everything you see from RCI will be on SimGrid instead of on our own website. Our own website is going to be used for other little bits and pieces that I think are being worked on in the background. Obviously, this Porsche Cup Series has one round to go on the Mondays, and then we will have to wait and see what comes next. I think we might have a little bit of a Christmas break, however, give us all some time off, and you guys some time off as well. The Multi-Splint Series has 2 splits, which I believe are both full at the moment. So that is running on Fridays. And we finished the prototype sprint series as well at the moment, so it's just those 2 series on the Monday and Friday going on. And like I said, I think we're going to have a bit of an RCI Christmas break as Stubborn's trying it around the outside of Boardman, and just Boardman gets a little bit wayward on the front end coming through. It's really hard to find the right sort of setup to have a good balance in these cars, especially through high-speed corners, because of, again, that sort of odd weightedness of how this car's made, as Stubborn shapes to the inside there, but Boardman, not distracted, goes around his normal racing line, his normal braking shape, and manages to come out the corner ahead, but really fill in the mirrors now. But yeah, they're really hard sort of mid-high speed corner to get the right inputs, and you have to be so gentle with it. don't mind me. I'm just being distracted by Ash Bibby and Mikkel Sundstrom offering each other out for a fight. Um,
there's good
in
stuff
the comms
happening. Yeah,
chat. Um,
I'm contributing to be
just
fair.
yeah, don't worry, Jack. You keep doing that. I'll commentate on what's going on the screen. So if you're wondering why we are only seeing Andy Boardman and Stubner going around, oh no, Ash Bibby stopped fighting and is cut back to Neil Pumlott chasing down Lily Armstrong. Instead, he's still on the cams. He's just one hand on the cams, one hand on the keyboard. That's probably the best way to be.
Multi-talented that guy.
Multi-talented multitasker. But yeah, we've only got 10 minutes left, John. Jack.
Sam John again.
Jeez.
Suddenly.
Oh,
a mother calling me John? Jeez. I like shudder whenever I hear that. I get scared. I like look over my shoulder as if.
You're also the only person in Discord without a last name. The RCI.
It's not true. That's not true. There are a couple of other people. I'm not sure who it is, but there's a couple of other people. Here's Miso Stubnum thinking about around the outside in the bus stop. Yet again on Andy Boardman. That's just a move that's it's going to be near impossible to make, but it can set up a run towards the heel, which is the next corner upcoming as you get into the boot section. Gosh, I like that. I like that camera shot. We've gotten it a couple of times, and it's a good one. I just like a static shot where cars run by. It really gives you a sense of speed of these machines. But Boardman survives another couple of corners for Stubna. Oh, as I say that, runs a bit wide at the exit of the toe. Now they're running down towards the heel. Stubna's on the inside. Does he have enough overlap, though? Does he have confidence on the brakes? I think he does. It's the 666 on the 6.9. Two fantastic drivers, two fantastic numbers of race cars swinging through. And that's Nicholas Keller, by the way, who's joined the fight. And if Boardman's not careful, he may lose another position. But Miso Stubna is through with zing and with zest.
Keller's sniffing around now. He's sort of slowly being brought into place. I got a little bit wayward out the final corner. These guys are really struggling with the front end sort of on power, deciding to sort of wave around a little bit. It's a very weird phenomenon to have, but a couple of them seem to just be struggling it on the outboard side of things. But Keller is right on the back of Boardman as Bibby has stopped offering out fights and started putting things back in our ears and telling us what's going on. But yeah, Keller is trying to get a bit of a run, but Boardman will have a toe, so it's all going to be about throttle application on exit instead. But Keller just shaping to the inside, Boardman not put off at all by that, and just running a little bit wide because not getting the ideal line through the chicane there for Keller, and about equidistant now. If anything, Boardman's closing back up to the back of Stubner, Jack.
Yeah, he seems like he's doing it after the sort of end of the third sector, the end of that last lap really sort of ran away from Boardman. But I think Boardman's got a bit more pace maybe in the first and second sector, and Pimlott is not letting Lily Armstrong get away. Saw that excellent move get put on and said, wait, this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. But we've gotten treated to some of the best moments that you get from. Oh, I thought Lily Armstrong was going a bit wide. I think maybe he was getting a bit rear, maybe overtaking the front. Bit of a Porsche moment beginning to happen. But Nico Kumpu has not been able to overtake Jordan Daly. As I said, that man is not one that takes an overtake lightly, if one even happens at all. But no, you were getting the great thing about single make racing is it's sort of like these pockets of racing sort of appears all throughout the entire race. There's very few times where you just get nothing on circuit. And unfortunately, another thing that's worth mentioning is the amount of drivers we've had so far this season. I think this is a bit of a lighter race. I think we started with maybe 26 cars. I think we faced several retirements here and there, but there's always been racing on the circuit. And Lily has actually, I think when I was saying went a bit wide at the exit of the back straight, I think I was right, because Lily Armstrong got back behind Neil Pimlott It's a run down. Lily elects to dive to the inside, sort of weaving all over the place, keeping Neil to look behind and not look ahead. But Pimlott survives that next corner. I think Lily's got it all to do again. And, well, Lily, if you're listening, Grim, do it through the grass again because that was awesome. Just do that again. Or do something silly like diving in the bus stop. See those hands going absolutely crazy on the wheel. Ooh, brakes late. It's so difficult to get any overlap on this chicane. I mean, it goes right, left, and then right again so quickly that taking it too wide over that curb is, I would argue, a bit suicidal. And Ash Baby pointing out, rightfully so, I think Lily's tires are reaching the end of their operable life. Maybe pushed too hard, too early into that stint, trying to overtake Pimlott. Pimlott looked after the tires, maybe isn't sliding around quite as much. And, well, not getting away, but not giving up any ground either. And that's Elaranta as well in the background, in the flaming maroon Porsche Chariot that looks battle-scarred. And, ooh,
That
thought
was
about
nearly down the inside.
maybe down the inside, but Elaranta's thinking about it, feeling racy. Maybe feels like they have a better car under them at this stage in the race. 6 minutes remaining in this Watkins Glen Porsche Cup race.
Lead gap's coming down ever so slightly. It was 3.2 after the stop from Whitburn to Laurent, but obviously Whitburn used his tyres before Laurent pitted, and built out about a 3 and a bit second gap. It's come down to about 2.4 now, but it's slowly been ticking down by about a tenth or so a lap. I don't think Whitburn's got anything to worry about, but obviously pitting earlier will mean that they've used more of their tyre effectively over a longer stint, so might start to be struggling a little bit with tyre wear, and that's what's bringing Laurent back. They've got a big gap back, about 10 seconds back to Raphael Huel in third place, so no worry about that, but it's just they come over the line again with about 5 minutes to go. It's down another tenth and a half, so Laurent's starting to just slowly reel in and get into the slipstream range there, as well as we see Grim still on the back of Pimlott, as well as Elaranta just sort of in the background now, I think waiting to see if another move gets made or an attempted move gets made and trying to capitalise on that. But yeah, so close there. Wow,
Pimlott went wide.
Straight up the inside. Pimlott must have made a mistake there going through. I didn't see it straight away because I was looking at something in Discord, but I think Pimlott just outbraked himself into the hairpin there, and Grim just slid straight up the inside. And now we've got Elaranta on the back of Pimlott, and Pimlott's thinking about how he's got about 4 minutes and 15 seconds to get past. You also, Jack, have 4 minutes and 15 seconds to do an entire sponsor read.
Ooh, that's really throwing me into it there. Yeah,
we
I
normally
can do
give
it
you a lap.
I can do it in a lap. Lily
It's
Armstrong getting wide on the exit. No, I was just gonna say that that's hairpin. That toe corner, we'll see. Can Lily hold it on the brakes? He does. Tries it around the outside. Oh,
he might make that
work. I think he might make that work. They're going into the S's now. We'll see this heli check. Oh, it's a bit of touch. Oh no, Armstrong's in the wall. Oh, Droskam keeps it going. Pimlott keeps it going. Elaranta, though, wasn't able to get around Pimlott before all that went down. More scars. Yeah, more scars on Elaranta's Porsche there. But as we've seen it before, it's just not really room to make that move.
He's cut the corner.
Pimlott is briefly on 2 wheels, holds it, tries to hold position. If he keeps this position, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Send it down the inside.
Oh, very late on the brakes. Holds it, goes wide. Here comes Armstrong. Oh, they've all been contact. It's all going up. Lily Armstrong takes both positions after Pimlott gets pushed into the wall by Elaranta. Oh my goodness, we need to see that again. Oh, he just begins to slide and gets pinged into the wall.
Alaranta, I
Neil
think, just
Pimlott.
understeered into Pimlott there,
Well, I
and
think it was
Pimlott got a
Pimlott.
bit of a slide. I think it
Yeah,
was two. They
Pimlott's.
both sort of drifted into each other. Alaranta
Yep.
drifted out, and Pimlott drifted in due to the rear end getting a bit tail lapping. Now Pimlott's under pressure from Galamini, trying to get down the inside. That Porsche's probably got a bit of damage on it as Pimlott gets a bit tail happy, coming through the right-hander, coming into the last sector. But Galamini has suddenly gone from probably having a bit of a lonely race to wondering where the hell Pimlott's come from, and he's slid it up the inside. I think that Porsche might be quite wounded. That was a big hit into the wall there from Pimlott. But that all started back from turn 2. Yeah, steering's off.
Awesome.
Steering's off on that car, and it's really wayward as well. Look at it down the straight, probably about 30 odd degrees in a straight line here, but he's only got 1 minute and 48 seconds to try and wrestle it around, and he's got Richard Meerman and a very quiet Les Stevenson. That's really wide through one. He's struggling a lot, and Meerman and Les really wide through turn 1 as well. What's Les doing down there? Jack, this sponsor read might be in the mud, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's okay. I'll get it done. It's more important that we talk about what we are seeing on the pictures, which is some absolutely incredible stuff towards the end. There's Les. Yeah.
We nearly didn't though.
Well judged by Les Stevenson there. I think Pimlott right now is just trying to bring this car home. I think it's going to be one more lap after this. The leaders actually are going to be the next to overtake Neil Pimlott. They're just a corner away. There you see, that's Matthew Whitburn in the back of shots.
Again, another 5/10.
It has. I think what's happening is the tire offset, because Martin Lawrence boxed a little bit later. Yeah, it's the it's a tire strategy often seen in the world of Formula One, and with the degradation as high as it is here today, with the track as hot as it is, tires are a big factor. But Matthew Whitburn,
GT tires like it if you bring them in gently. They don't like it going in immediately. As we cut to Daly is now not fending off John Dalton. He's done Dalton. So something's gone on there. I'm sure we'll get a replay. And Raphael Huell's right in the background there. We can't get a replay. It's gone apparently according to Ashby. But Dalton has been done by Daly, and we've got a lap to go now. So these three are going to have a right ding dong of a battle all the way to the end. Dalton's looking to shape around the outside. Ding dong indeed, Ashby. But Dalton gets a poor run through the corner, so Huell is now sniffing around the back end of that.
Oh wait, that was the last lap. My mistake. I said we had one more. Leaders have crossed the line. It's Matt Whitburn. Victory in Watkins Glen. We've got a couple more corners for Jordan Daly to get 4th position. He is going to keep it. It's not the podium, but it is a very good drive. Dalton crosses and Pimlott immediately behind. We all sort of missed that one. Miso Stubna in the 666 car, managing to keep it ahead of Andy Boardman on the exit. A bit of off-roading from whoever that is just across the line. Andy Boardman next with Nicholas Keller quickly and closely behind. I mean, looking at some of those gaps as these drivers are crossing the line, that's sort of, I feel like that's what this single make, that's what cup racing is all about.
Ellerant's still quite close to Armstrong.
I think, yeah, you are. Here's the thing, though. Lily got off pretty much scot-free. No real damage from any of that fight. Maybe a tiny bit of front bumper. But I think Lily Armstrong pretty much has this sewn up. Thibaut Roskam is about to cross the line. And next will be Lily Armstrong to finish this race out. One of the great overtakes I've ever seen in this series, and one of the greatest moments that got me literally jumping up and down was Lily Armstrong, Alaranta, and of course,
very close to the wall.
That was very close
for a final lap, but manages to hold on.
Oh wait, I don't think he. Yeah, I think we have one more final fight towards the end. Here's Fabio Galamini overtaking. Here's Richard Meerman. One more corner to keep Les behind. He does do it. Running it all the way to the wall, not leaving anything to chance. It's Les Stevenson in 16th and Meerman in 15th position. And ladies and gentlemen, if it's a drinking game, yes, Jack missed his partner read yet again. I'll get it when I get it. It's fine. Racing is too good. Blame I don't know, blame race cars, I guess.
The,
But
the problem is usually everything's sort of spread out by the last 10 minutes, so you've got a nice spot to put your sponsor read in. But because these guys were so close all the way to the end, there just was no spot.
yeah, no, it wasn't anything to because I sort of you saw I dropped a message in with sort of 10-ish minutes left to go, or not 10-ish, sort of 5-6 minutes. I was like, oh, I'll get to it, I'll get rolling, and say what I need to say. But nope, didn't happen that way. And we do have our race results for you. It's Matt Whitburn. He didn't start on the pole. He didn't even start on the first row, but from third place to first was his race, bringing the fight back to Martin Lawrence, who is in second position. Raphael Huell was in third, and things are scrolling away from me. Ash, baby, can you scroll up for me, buddy? I'm looking at the YouTube stream because everything broke again. Because nothing ever works, and it's not your fault. I'm just sad. Raphael Huell, our final podium finisher, to Jordan Daly, fourth position, Dalton fifth, Kumpu sixth, Stubness seventh, Boardman eighth, Keller ninth, Zotoage in 10th, Ross Cam 11th, Lily Armstrong 12th, Elaranta 13th, Galamini 14th, Meerman, Stevenson, Pimlott, Rhea, and I believe those are the end of our actual finishers. Oh no, sorry, we have Yenyo, Sebastian Brunier, and Autrish Batek finishing the very end of our finishers. There was quite a few drivers that had a bit of quiet races, but there were a lot of drivers that did not. They uh, went like crazy. Cars up on two wheels. Uh, Actually, I'll be honest, not that many cars backwards for it being a Porsche series. Usually there's
Can I
plenty
point out
of.
something crazy as well? I don't think we had a single
Absolutely.
DNF,
We did.
did we?
We did. I think we had a couple. Yeah.
I thought we
We
started with
started
21 and finished with 21.
I believe in qualifying we had 20 we had 26 at one point in the session. Maybe not. I don't know. It was a whole
Potentially.
mix up with all the stream restarting and everything sort of
Yeah, it
going
wasn't the
a bit wonky.
smoothest opening to an RCI stream we've ever had.
But thank goodness that we made it work and did our best, because that was an excellent race.
Thank
And
goodness we have a fantastic broadcaster who
oh,
managed to
Ash,
fix it.
a moment of applause for Ash, baby, for making it all work, making it all stick, and fixing it all. And also thank you to Kevin Boss, who came in at the 11th hour, helped us sort everything out. Thank you, Kevin, for assisting with the stream, making it work, and also putting on this series. And now we have the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Whitburn. Congratulations on the victory. Coming off of what was let's be honest, pretty tricky race at Paul Ricard. But good to see you back on the top spot. Good to see you taking the championship fight back to Martin Lawrence. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good after that. Actually, I really enjoyed that race. It was a good first stint. I enjoyed, the battle with Martin. That was a good, clean battle all the way through, which was really nice. And then I managed to get a bit of a gap in the second half of the first stint, and then it was just about trying to hold on really in the second stint then.
It seemed towards the end we were noting that the gap seemed to be coming down. Was it that tire offset? Because I know you pitted a couple laps before Martin, and were the tires sort of falling off on those last handful of laps?
Yeah, they were falling off. I think it was only 1 lap difference. I think I tried to be a bit careful over both the first and second stint for the first. I kind of learnt my lesson from Hungaroring. I feel like once you start sliding the tyres, you then just keep overheating. It basically spirals. So, but then there was a couple of times I seen White was coming. I thought, well, I'm going to try and do a bit of a quicker lap now, and then basically slid around too much, and then was slow again for a couple of laps. So I think I've learnt my lesson on that one.
Well, I mean, clearly, whatever you did worked. Whether you were sliding around, I think you slid around the right amount. It was a mighty start to your race. I must admit, you cleared Daly in no time at all. The stream missed it, but don't worry, I saw it, and it was fantastic. Fantastic, of course, to see the Rainbow Sparkles racing car in all of its glory. One of my favorite livery stories of all time. That being that your kids designed the car for you and picked what you wanted, and I think that is phenomenal. How do you feel about how do you feel about Suzuka? You feeling good? You feeling confident? I mean, that is our final round. You ready to hit the practice?
I mean, my practice has pretty much been the lobby before, you know, the 45-minute practice. I've not really done any practice on the like in the week building up to it, which I tend to like to do if I'm doing a series, but it's just obviously the way that it's fell, I've not really had much time to do it. So, but I'm hoping to be somewhere near Martin again. That'd be nice. Hopefully, he doesn't disappear off into the distance like he has done for the last few races. But
It's not nice. I'm
yeah.
sweating too much.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Lawrence is here too. Any quick exchange between you guys? Any like I don't know, I want to hear some some fighty words.
Huge congratulations. It was just like the consistency, and especially in the first stint, was just unbeatable because I, for some reason, had a ton of understeer, which I was compensating with the rear axle. That didn't turn really well. And then, yeah, I had a backmarker struggle, like at two, like once in first turn and then in the the snake after turn one. So yeah, there I lost the draft and like 1.5 second, something like that. Might be the difference, might be not, but I cooked the tires in the first stint, and that was the biggest issue of the whole race for me. But yeah, the battle was just awesome, clean, respectful, awesome. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
it
You
was
guys are
great to
supposed to
see
be like
you guys
angry at each
battling.
other.
Um,
You're supposed to say fighty stuff. You weren't supposed to be
yeah.
nice. Come on now.
Well, I might be able to insinuate something, Jack. Here, I've done some quick napkin math, which is the only
Ooh.
the only math that is acceptable up here in the booth. So Martin, by my very quick napkin math, you are 4 points ahead of Matt going into the final round. So if you guys do a 1-2 again between the two of you, it's whoever wins the whole championship.
Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So get practicing.
That's nice.
Matt's going to suddenly load up the practice server and start furiously.
Well,
Nah,
I'm going to be in there for 48 hours straight before we go to
no.
Japan. And but yeah, no. So I
I-
think it comes down to basically whichever one of you finishes ahead wins the championship in the final round. No
I
pressure.
think
yeah,
I might use a
definitely.
time machine to go back and delete my 3 warnings at Paul Ricard in one corner. So
Oh yeah,
I'd have known that. I just
that
parked
hurted you
third round.
badly. Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
But yeah,
It equalized round one.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
Martin, you driving the with no force feedback, which
Oh yeah.
still
Well,
finishing,
this
still
was an
finishing
experience
8th
and a
is
half.
insane. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm assuming Martin that you had full force feedback this time, and
Yes, yeah, definitely.
no issue. I mean, we had
No.
probably more technical issues than anyone else did. I'm sure you'll probably see if you go back and watch it again. But we cut in on lap 2. My computer restarted before we even reinstalled Windows before we even got to the stream, and yeah, we only made it to lap 2 of the race because YouTube did Ash Bibby dirty.
Oh.
But yeah, how are you feeling more towards, looking towards Suzuka? Obviously, as we said, it's quite close, but is it something where you've driven the Porsche around before, or are you going to have to get a bit more practice in, maybe fine-tune setups, etc. this week?
Well, I can't really remember if I drove the 992 there. I drove the 991, and if I'm not mistaken, I lost the title there to Mike Noble back in the day. I did a Kubica, so I went like into the wall in the very last corner because the cup car just didn't turn in. I have no honest clue. I kinda like Suzuka, but it's gonna be a struggle bus again with the tires. It's eating tires alive, and the grip is considerably lower than here. So it's gonna be a slide fest, I bet. So it's gonna be, and the warnings are just like unforgivable in the digners. So it's gonna be fun, I bet.
Matt, I hope you're taking notes here. Furiously taking notes
Yeah,
on where to
yeah,
stick the
absolutely.
nose up the inside.
Well,
Final
Yeah,
corner, there you go.
I've got to be close
Uh,
enough. That's the thing. I've definitely known Mark Noble, back in the day. So
Oh
I've
yeah,
got to be close enough.
Mike was just too quick.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, big congrats, Martin. Obviously, not quite enough today, but still holding a championship lead, and it'll be good to see you guys both battling it out up there at the top. Raphael Huell, hello, are you here?
I am also here, yeah.
We're going to jump cut
The
over to
top
you for a second.
three.
Top three in the championship. Obviously, you came in quite close with Joe Dorber, but I think you pulled out quite a comfortable race so far today. How was it from your side of things? I don't think we saw any major dramas.
Yeah, no, I plan to do an overcut, as I normally do, but I felt with the traffic and the four of us, I think, Daly, Dalton, and Kump, all of us battling, I felt it would be better to do an undercut, and it worked flawlessly. I managed to keep the tires alive just enough to still do good laps at the end. Obviously not as good as Martin and Matt. It's it's a different league, but still good enough.
How are you feeling towards again Suzuka? I know it's obviously the question we asked the other two guys as well. Have you driven the 991 or 992 round there before? Are you confident going into that? Have you got a bit of time to practice in the week coming up, or is it just going to be a sort of quick 45 minutes in the lobby before the race starts, qualifying starts, and see how we go?
Yeah, I've driven the GT3 car there. I don't think I've ever been in the Cup, but I hope that at least knowing the Porsche on that track will give me an advantage. Even if it's just a small one, but it's a fun track. We'll see what the weather says. I'm not sure what the gods will provide, but I do hope it's going to be rain.
I don't like that people are now referring to Kevin as the gods, Jack. That's quite scary.
I hope he didn't hear that. We'll crack him down back to side, but
He
we'll
will hear
see.
that. Kevin hears everything. Kevin will
That's
have heard
true.
that.
That's true. No, I would imagine. I would imagine based on how Kevin seems to do his events, I think it's just going to be a normal, not too hot, not too cold, sunny day in Japan. So maybe I don't know.
Cut to
Maybe some rain.
thunderstorms at Suzuka.
Yeah. Well, that would be brilliant. But I think Raphael, it's worth mentioning. I know the other two are still here. I know they can still hear me. But if they make a big enough mistake between the two of them, that championship is still well in reach for you. I think you're maybe going to be 10 to 15 points back, maybe thereabouts. So I don't know. Maybe keep your head on straight. All three of you, honestly. I don't know. To me, in my head, I'm immediately just going, all right, one of you use Verstappen, one of you use Lando Norris, and one of you use Oscar Piastri. So I think we got a good one on our hands for next week. For all three of you, congratulations. I'm looking forward to next week for sure, and I'm sure all of you are. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for racing with us. And thanks for interviewing with us, giving us people to talk to.
Happy to be
Thank you.
here always.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the rest of the field. And I need to run, so see you next week.
See you next
Yeah.
week. Best
Thank
of luck
guys.
next
Thank
week,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. And before we go, of course, because I'm a dingus, I got to talk about some of the wonderful people that help us do what we do here at RCI. Help us keep the lights on. Help us keep locks on Ash Bibby's box. Of course. And I always got to start off with them. Ready, Set, Sim. Wonderful people where you can build the sim rig of your dreams or your budget in seconds with the RSS Sim Builder. Because let's be honest, after watching a race like that, there's nothing that makes you want to get into sim racing more than something like that. And if you're looking for new hardware to go with that rig, might I recommend Moser Racing. They provide high quality direct drive hardware that doesn't break the bank. They have gear for racing, they have gear for trucking, they even have flight sim gear. And if you want to fly cars rather than drive them, I guess. And maybe you get a little bit set up, you're feeling good, you think you need to find some titles to go with. Maybe you want to jump back into ACC, maybe you want to do LMU, maybe you want to check out a set of course or rally. If you want to get into rallying business, might I recommend heading over to Green Man Gaming, where there is a good deal. I think it's like $6-7 off. It's like maybe 20% off on Green Man Gaming for the new Assetto Corsa Rally. And you can find huge savings for not just sim racing titles, but all kinds of PC games, including exciting new releases, stuff that just come out. You can already find deals on Green Man Gaming by following the link below. Now that you have your sim, now that you have your rig, now that you have your gear, now that you have your titles, head over to Coach Dave Delta. Get up to speed, and they can help you climb the sim racing ladder with helps from their apps, their setups, and their coaching tools for all of your favorite sim titles. Faster lap times begin with Delta. And if you're thinking about maybe VR is your style, we know a lot of people, I know several people that race in VR and they love it. I do it every once in a while. Terribly slow whenever I have a VR headset on, but there's nothing like VR immersion. There's nothing like Pimax to get you immersed and get you rolling in the VR space. They deliver high quality class leading clarity and resolution with their range of VR headsets. And if you want to figure out how you can get a little bit of a discount, head down to the link below. Check out Pimax. Of course, last but certainly not least, special thank you to Motorsport UK for selecting us as a recommended esports community. It is an honor. It is a privilege to be on their list of folks. Callum, any final words of wisdom? Anything you feel is worth mentioning before we
No, I mean, I
close
am
this thing out?
slowly bracing myself for how you're going to close it out this time.
Oh,
Because I forget your little tidbits at the end.
you just
I,
reminded me. I'll come up with
I'm
something.
slowly bracing myself, and I will now pad for about 30 seconds to give you
No, I'm good, man.
you
I'm
time.
ready.
Oh, you're ready. You are
I'm
ready.
ready.
But no,
Um,
I'm looking forward to Suzuka. Obviously, it's fun to be back in the box. Hopefully, we will have a bit smoother of an experience on our side to give you a more complete broadcast for Suzuka. We won't make any promises. However, you never know when Ash Bibby's gonna finally turn rogue and just take over the Discord, really. But no, hopefully we'll be back next Monday at 7:45. My PC won't die. YouTube won't have an absolute nightmare, and we'll be there. And Jack, I'll let you give some of your words of wisdom before we close out.
Words of non-wisdom, I like to call it. And actually, one more thing that I did forget. First off, head over to our Discord. Do that. Come hang out with us. We're wonderful people. And if you love us enough, you can join one of our teams. Right now, we're looking for commentators, we're looking for broadcasters, and we're looking for stewards. We're always looking for stewards. Our steward team loves new people. And if you think you want to watch or talk or think about cars racing in circles all the time, head over to the staff vacancies channel on our Discord. That has all the information about applying to your chosen position. We'd love to have you. And Ash Bibby will be your teacher. I hope not. Depends. He's great at what he does. We give him a lot of crap, but we love Ash Bibby. I love him more than Callum does, though. So I'm Ash's favorite. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to bring round 4 of the Porsche Cup Series here on RCI to a close. Another great race, another great afternoon, evening, morning, night, whenever the heck it is for you of racing. Thank you for joining us here on RCI TV. Head over to SimGrid if you're interested in signing up for any of our events. We have a little bit of room here and there. We got some more races coming up, and look forward to the new year where everything's going to go off again and all our series will begin to start yet again. Of course, thank you to our partners yet again for helping us do what we do. I've been Jack Mays, joined in the box by Callum Kerwin and Ash Bibby, our hero, our savior, keeping us running, keeping us rolling, and doing his absolute best to keep us talking about racing rather than other things. Sorry, we're a bit of a pain, Mr. Bibby. Thank you all yet again for joining us. Have a wonderful Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because we're going to see you again on Friday for multi-sprint. Make sure, wipe your butt, and have a great rest of your day.
You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Get behind the wheel, let's go. Grip the road, feel the flow. Thunder roaring, steel alive. Live this dream and drive. Tires burning with gasoline. Push the limits, chasing green. One shot, don't slow, go on, we'll take control. Engines scream alive tonight, blazing past the red line. Outrun the night, won't lose this fight. Follow the road, red line for show. We're chasing taillights, don't let go. Under the stars, we'll go so far. This is who we are. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. Chasing taillights. We're chasing taillights. The miles they fade, but they don't die. Faster now, the hours fly by. Sweat and gears, hearts in sync. On the edge, on the brink. Clock ticks down, stakes are high. One mistake, we kiss us goodbye. Don't slow down, we're not done. Finish line for the strong ones. Engines scream alive tonight,